Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling what might be the single biggest challenge for personal AI. How in the world can you trust it with your entire digital life? Well, the solution is surprisingly cool. We're going to put the AI in a secure box, and then we're going to put that box inside an even stronger box. Let's break down how this whole thing works. You know, this quote right here, it just gets to the heart of the fear, doesn't it? We all want these powerful AI tools to help us out. But the idea of giving something we don't fully understand the keys to our digital kingdom, well, like the creator here says, that's a recipe for a very, very sleepless night. And that really is the central dilemma. On one hand, you have the promise of this amazing AI helper that can manage your whole life. But on the other hand, for it to actually be helpful, it needs total access to everything, which, is a huge security and privacy nightmare. So how do you get all that power without all the peril? Okay, look at this slide, because it just perfectly shows the problem with complexity. On the left, you've got a typical system. We're talking 500,000 lines of code. There's no way a single person can audit that. And its security, it's just a bunch of internal checks inside the app itself. But on the right, that's a totally different approach. A few files, one process, and security that isn't just a feature. It's actually enforced by the operating system. The whole goal is simplicity you can actually see and trust. So let's dive into the first piece of this puzzle, a project called NanoClaw. And this isn't just another piece of software, it's a whole new way of thinking about how to build a trustworthy AI from the ground up. The secret sauce here is this concept: secure by isolation. So instead of one giant program that has access to everything, NanoClaw spins up each little AI task, what it calls an agent, inside its own completely sealed-off Linux container. Think of it like a secure windowless room. The agent is locked inside, and the only things it can see or touch are the specific files you decide to slide under the door. It literally has no idea that the rest of your computer even exists. And this whole philosophy of simplicity goes even deeper. The codebase is so small that a single person can actually read through it and understand it. And get this, it's AI native, which means you use another AI to help set it up and even customize it by having the AI literally rewrite its own code. It's wild. So instead of bloated features, you just add the modular skills you need, which keeps the whole system incredibly lean and secure. So this is the basic model we have so far, right? You've got your main computer, the host machine, and then you have these AI agents running, but each one is tucked away safely inside its own container, its own little box, completely isolated from the host. This is a massive step forward. But hold on a second. There's a catch here, isn't there? We've put all the little agents in their own boxes, which is awesome. But what about the main NanoClaw program? The one that's creating all those boxes. That thing is still running directly on our machine. What happens if there's a vulnerability in that code? And this is where we take it to the next level. If one security box is good, well, two has got to be better. It's time to talk about sandboxing the entire application. We're about to put our box inside another, even tougher box. And here it is. This is the box-in-a-box model. The entire NanoClaw system, the orchestrator, all the agents, everything, is now running inside this second, much more powerful container called a Docker Shell Sandbox. This outer box creates a total wall, a digital fortress between the AI and your computer. Absolutely nothing gets in or out unless you say so. So what exactly is this Docker Shell Sandbox? It's not just another container. It's actually a micro virtual machine. The easiest way to think about it is like a whole tiny disposable computer that just spins up in memory. It's its own little world, totally clean, with zero access to your files or your network, except for the one single folder you explicitly tell it it's allowed to see. It is the definition of an airtight digital clean room. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. This sounds incredibly complicated, right? A box in a box, micro VMs. But the amazing part is how surprisingly simple it is to actually use. Really, it just boils down to three main steps. First, you fire up a new empty sandbox and just point it to a single folder on your machine. Second, you pop into that sandbox's command line and install your tools. And third, you just tell the AI, hey, set up and run NanoClaw for me. And it does it all right there inside that super isolated environment. It's so elegant. Now, this right here is the solution to a huge security headache. API keys. You can't just leave your secret keys lying around in a file for the AI to find. So the Docker Sandbox has this brilliant little trick. The AI makes a request, but the key isn't there. Instead, Docker's secure proxy system injects the real key outside the sandbox at the very last second. That means your secret key never, ever exists inside the AI's world. It's invisible. So let's zoom out. Why do all these technical details matter so much? Because what this is doing is establishing a brand new, and more importantly, a verifiable standard for how we can build and trust the personal AI assistants that are going to become such a big part of our lives. So here's the payoff. This is what you get. Total file system isolation. The AI can't snoop around your personal files. Your secret API keys are never ever exposed. It all runs in a perfectly clean environment so you don't have to worry about it messing with the other software on your computer. And maybe the best part of all, the entire thing is disposable. If you ever feel worried, you can just delete the whole environment in a second and it's gone, with zero risk to your machine. And that leaves us with this one big question to think about. As these personal AI agents go from being fun toys to truly essential tools, we have to ask, is this kind of multi-layered verifiable isolation, this box-in-a-box idea, the new minimum standard? Is this what real trust is going to have to look like in the age of AI? It's something we're all going to need to figure out. Thanks for watching.